Hey everyone, Paul here. Today I'm going to talk about probably be the last time I talk about the indicators because uh, I've been talking about them a lot and I've kind of go over a lot of them unless I figure out a different strategy. Uh, I've talked about unless I find out a different kind of combo. Uh, I've talked about mainly all the indicators and what they do. Today I'm going to talk about the pressure gauge. I think I've made a video about it. But just the pressure gauge by itself. And I'm just see how it actually helps. Now, what I use pressure gauge for, I don't use it a lot. I don't use it in my daily routine here, but I use it to find moments of when the market might go up. So this is good for let's say you're at the end of the bear market and the prices are about to jump. It's good to point out those moments. So yesterday we saw a increase in the price of Bitcoin. So what I'm going to do is let's try it by the day, and we're going to see if the charts predicted that the price would go up. Probably didn't predict it by the day, but let's just check the hour. Now let's see. Let's go back to the beginning of yesterday, and I'm recording this. It's the last day of May, so it's the last day of May. So yesterday we saw an increase in Bitcoin. So I'm going to see if by the hour yesterday, if it predicted that the price was going to go up at all. So let's zoom out here. With using none of the other indicators here. See right here, and this was this? I think this was yesterday. Let's go back a little further. Right here we go. Here we go. So that little yellow bar, when you have the pressure gauge, and it's this yellow, this intense of a yellow, it means that the market is either strongly going to go up or it's strongly going to go down. So, but because prior to this moment, we pretty much have been down and sideways, not a lot of big movements. You knew from that point right here, we were down like 9 weeks straight. So you knew right here at this moment that most likely it's probably going to go up. And as intense as this pressure gauge is, it probably means that the price is going to go up. So the good thing about the pressure gauge is it picks it up. It picks it up before everything happens. It's able to detect everything before it happens. So it detected this before Bitcoin started going back up again. So what do you think is going to happen in the bull market? Now, it could go the other way. It could have this big of a pressure moment and price could go down. But since Bitcoin has been kind of going down and it hasn't had a moment where it's gone up a lot, you know that this pressure gauge, it probably means it's going to go up. So this pressure gauge showed up before Bitcoin started going back up again. So let me show you right here. And it picked it up, and then guess what happens? The price went up. And it's up to now right about 31,500, which I personally hope it stays at that number for today. But it picked it up, I think, almost 2 days before, or a couple hours before, pretty close. But you had enough time to look at the pressure gauge, see that it probably might go up, and you could come in at this point. You could literally just trade when you see the pressure gauge. Because when you see the pressure gauge, it's either gonna if the pressure gauge is, let me see what that is called here real quick. It's called, that intensity of it, it's called an exploding pressure. There's a pressure line, great pressure, and exploding pressure. So this is what you call a exploding pressure gauge, which basically means it's going to start exploding pretty massively to the up or to the down. So it predicted this early on, right before everything happened. So what you can do is you can just look out for these pressure gauges, and then you could come in at those moments. Hold on, you can hold on to your crypto, hold on, and then just when you find pressure gauges, that's when you buy, because then it'll start going up or down. But pressure gauges can also go down, so you got to keep that in mind. Now, another thing that I use to help with my process of whether it's going to go up or down is I either use the well money flow or the trend exhaustion. Let's look at the trend exhaustion real quick. So from this moment right here, the trend exhaustion is kind of in the center. So right there, judging by that, it could go either way. So there's trend exhaustion. You can also look at at that moment, what are the buyers and the sellers doing? At the moment you see the pressure gauge. So at that moment, it's in the red. People are, you don't know if it's going to go up or down at that point, because the line is towards the sellers. So let's look at the well money flow. Now that's why it's really good to have all these indicators, because you can really do a good analysis here. So let's just do this here. Okay, so at the moment when it detects now here's probably the best moment you can predict it here. You see the well money flow on the very bottom. The moment it's predicting a pressure gauge, you see the well money flow on the bottom, which means the wells have, pretty much sold and drive the price down. So what do you think's going to happen here? What do you think's going to happen? What do you think the wells are going to do right here? If it's detecting a pressure gauge and the wells have sold, and there's only one place where it could go up. So what ends up happening? The wells start buying, and then the price starts going up. So I think using the well money flow with the pressure gauge is a pretty good combination, and you can use this to really detect, like whenever the bull market, whenever the bear market ends and the bull market starts, you can detect this early on. So anyway, you can really use the pressure gauge to find these moments. I mean, you don't even have to trade. You can trade whenever you see the pressure gauges. So you keep your eye open for all the pressure gauges. If it's this intense, if this is an exploding pressure gauge, you know that it's massively either going to go up or massively going to go down. So anyway, that's how to spot a very big increase in the market, whether it's going to explode up or going to explode down. I use this for whenever I think it's going to start going up again, and especially when I see the exploding pressure gauge right there. Anyway, if you guys want to get these indicators, you can go to, I'm not affiliated with the site. I just found these indicators helpful. This is probably the last time I'm going to talk about the indicators because I think I've gone over all different kind of strategies. If I find another combination, I'll let you guys know. But probably the last time I'm going to talk about the indicators for a little bit. So I hope you guys found value. Go to the website. You can get the indicators if you want. Other than that, if you like the video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I'll see you guys in future videos.